Hello, it's Polish Paul VR, welcome to my channel and let's do PSVR SuperShow, my biggest show of the week, and we starting right off the bat with the bullshit watch. And in this week bullshit watch we're gonna look at new move controllers patent. There's no wrong with being patent, and of course Sony patents stuff all the time. I think that's third time the moves was patented, and of course as PSVR folks, even though we reported on it, we told you, it's only patent, so don't look too much into it. But what's happening is a lot of press been writing that next thing on PSVR you'll be controlling your world with your fingers, because those patent feature finger tracking. And listen, I'm looking from it, it's finger tracking like on touch controllers, so basically the moves could know when you're holding them, but that's about it, not like your proper finger tracking. But anyway, just putting it out there, no matter what you read on internet, it's only a patent, it might not even happen. Okay, and now on to the next part of the show, which is the new announcements we've had past last week, and the only announcement was UNBINARY. Now, if you go into PAX East, this game gonna be there, so you'll be able to try it and play it on PlayStation VR in the Indie Mega Booth. But what is it? Basically, you are a little robot, which appears to be very hand-drawn, just like rest of the world in this game. And in this world, you're gonna try to find out what is the feeling of empathy. You're gonna be going through the series of experiments that some kind of AI designed for you. But also, apart from that, I saw there is some climbing and stuff like that. Looks like a very nice little original game, so it's definitely I gonna keep an eye out on this one and see on the future updates. They planning to release it in August this year.
Access privileges. Now that is really messed up. Let's see what this interface can do for you. Look at that. It shows a version to your new look. Another kind of behavior to this interface. Is this supposed to be friendly? I'm finding it a bit creepy, actually. It took some brute force, but it was what we had left.
That was the new announcements, but what was we playing this week? First new game that released was Casta, and I must say I didn't play it, I didn't even decided to bother to spend money on it or out, but I watched this gameplay on my buddy's AJ's PSVR Underground channel, so I'm gonna pop link in the description so you can look at his impressions. But he's usually very right about the games, and basically it's a coaster game, coaster simulator. You've got 4 different tracks, you're sitting on them and then you're going through the level, and it ends. They're not even that long, and from what I saw, they're not even that interesting. It doesn't look too bad or terribly bad, it's just your 4 roller coaster tracks, and that's what this game is, that's all, that's what's there. And another game which was pretty shitty is Trolley VR. You can check out my review, but I quickly tell you what was there, and basically everything what was there was kind of terrible. The control options, you've got only click turning and teleportation. Sometimes you can get stuck in the environment or it won't work at all. There's tons of bugs, enemies just folding themselves to each other when you kill them, or just blindly shooting somewhere at the walls. The difficulty level is not that hard at all. You play through all the 4 levels of the game and then it's the end. There is not that much to the story. Somebody tells you something, but it's just hard to pay attention. It could have been a good game, but it's a very shitty game, and it's an old PC VR port which sells currently at 15 quid, so this game is twice the price as on the PC, but also it's got less features, because at least on PC they've got multiplayer, on PSVR we don't have it, and also it looks bad, and PSVR is capable of rendering way better graphics than this. Just looks like another lazy port, quick money, whatever you want to call it. Okay, on to the next segment of the show, which is next week games, and first one, of course, probably the biggest one of next week, is Space Channel 5 VR, coming out on 25th of February at the price of $39.99. So kind of bit expensive, but hey, what can you do? It's one of the more popular and more recognizable PSVR games that lately released. It's coming to PC VR and Quest as well later on. So the developers said few times that this is not just a remake of the original game, but this is completely brand new game. And as you know, on Dreamcast you've been using your controller. In VR, no need for it, because you've got your body to dance around. You might think it's a game for kids, probably is. I don't know how many people are gonna buy it, but I know there is many fans of the original, so they definitely relying on this nostalgic feeling, and I like what I'm seeing. It's gonna teleport me into that Dreamcast world, and I'm gonna be experiencing it first eye in VR. Next release is COVERT. Now, will it release or will it not? This is the big question. The developer said it's coming out on 25th of February, but sadly PlayStation published their blog and next week releases, and they said, nothing about the COVERT, so I have no idea, but probably might just be coming in Europe first. Or maybe it's just got a bit delayed, but the developers didn't announce any delays, so I'm still going by what they said, which is February 25th. This is a game for 2 players. It's got this coach co-op, whereas one player is in virtual reality and other player is on their mobile device. You have to go and download the app, and then you can join into the game with the VR person. And what you doing, you go into the missions like a heists, because you're going to be stealing loads of shit. Somebody asking you, you have to be good at it, you working together. The mobile player is like a hacker, and he disables the, security systems and stuff, and you are like proper acrobatic thief, sneaking around and stealing stuff. Okay, and now what else is releasing on the disc? In Europe we getting Curious Tale of Stolen Pets. I really like this game, it's a nice little game. When the disc version was announced, I was thinking, that's a very small game to put on disc, but also it's gonna sell for a very small price. It's like 14 quid, so not too expensive. And of course, if you like to collect your games, then this is another one to your collection. And also it's a very charming game. I really enjoyed what I played. They did that little update for Christmas for a while as well. So yeah, fun little experience. Another release, what's gonna happen next week, is the co-op mode for the Crisis Brigade. You might think, wait a minute, you reviewed this game, so what's happening? Basically, the update came out in Europe, but there is a bit of a delay in the US, so it looks like it's gonna be with you on Monday. I'm gonna speak about Crisis Brigade later on in this video, but if you didn't pick it up yet, it's very nice little cover shooter with very fun mechanics. Definitely better than Bullet Sorrow, 3 times cheaper and more fun, and now it's got multiplayer as well. Okay, so that's the next week releases, but what else we've got to talk about? I'm introducing here a new segment to the show, so let me know if you like it or not. I'm calling it GAMIVERSARY, because we're gonna talk about the games that come out during this time but in previous years. And right off the bat, we're gonna start from Trolley VR. So this come out on 17th of February 2017, nearly 3 years ago, and still we didn't have as good racing game as this one. This is one of those rare occasions when we get in this generation game, and we getting it in VR. So what's happened is we've had the trailer was out for a while, and then they released patch, and you have to buy the patch, the DLC, VR DLC. or you could buy brand new game with VR DLC already in it. When I started it up, just to grab this footage, I was like, once again, I forgot how to access VR mode. If you didn't play it for a while, you have to wait till the game fully install, and then you can access your VR menu. Of course, it feels great in VR. You can feel every bump plays so much differently to the flat version, even though you might say it plays the same, but you definitely feel all the terrain around you. You see how narrow the track gonna get, and it's just all in all a super fun racer. So I highly recommend. If you didn't try it, it's really fantastic.
5.5 long, don't cut. Into left 4 long. 100. Caution right 6, into immediate hairpin left.
Okay, that wasn't only thing that released in February 2017, because also we've had Merville's VR Adventure, which came out on 21st of February 2017. I can't believe it's been 3 years since them games come out. Merville's is a game I really enjoyed. Of course, now if you stack it up against Astrobot or Moss, you know, it's not looking as good, but it's definitely a fun platformer, and only platformer we've had for PlayStation VR for a while, and it's a very solid game. It might not look much, but it plays really good, didn't have many bugs, it had collectibles as well. The story, I think it was about like 6 hours, so it's on a longer side as well, and when I started playing it yesterday just to capture this footage, I enjoyed it as much as I did in past. If you slept on Merville's, if you ever see it on sale or you've got some spare money, then definitely pick it up. This is coming from the same developer who recently did Shadow Legend, which is another very good game from them. So you know, this studio know how to make good games, which is very nice because it's super small studio. I think like 2 people, and they making fantastic experiences. Merville's third-person platformer, I've had so much fun with it. I 100% completed the game, and now I think I might just do it again. And also on 21st of February 2017, Psychonauts PlayStation VR version come out, so this is meant to be like a bridging the gap between last Psychonaut game, which come out 2005-6, like ages ago, and the next one, which apparently coming soon. It's forever in the development, but just look at this footage. This game looks fantastic, it's holding up so well, it's probably still one of the better looking PSVR games. So what is the meaning and what is the message? Basically, you finding somebody is dead, is kidnapped father. That's what you have to do. It plays like point and click adventure games, and it plays very good. Very sharp, high quality graphics. I really forgot how good this game was, and it is kind of a forgotten game, and this is a game to not sleep on, because if you play it now, you see how much better it is than many PlayStation VR games that released after that. The only downfall is it's not very long. First playthrough probably gonna be like 2.5, 3 hours, and then it's over. There's not that much replayability unless you want to just experience the game again. But definitely very big, high quality, cool release, and super fun game, very good humor, just fun.
See? Exactly as I planned.
Oh, Rasputin!
Hey, the light's on in that bomber over there. Be right back, Mia. I'm gonna go check out this bomber.
I will send my thoughts with you, young man.
Huh. I thought jellyfish didn't have brains. Guess this is one of the smart ones.
Okay, so now we're moving on next year, which is 2018, and we've had released on 20th of February Apex Construct. I'm looking back at those games, I'm like, where does this time pass? It was so long ago, that's gone fast. Apex Construct, one of those games which had proper story mode, proper narration, very high quality graphics, and very enjoyable game. When it's first released, it's launched with few bugs here and there and they had to be patched up, but nevertheless it's a very good experience. Also the developers did great job with marketing. They went where the PlayStation VR viewers are and that's what they concentrated on, and I think that's translated to the success of the game, so very smart, very wise. But also this game is very smart and very wise. It's not only looks good, but also plays good. You can have smooth locomotion, you can have teleportation, click turning, smooth turning, they think about everything. Bow and arrow mechanics are still one of the best, and even nice bow animation, something what not many developers do. Looks super nice. The game gets quite challenging in the later stages of the game, but if you didn't pick it up yet, this is the time because most of the bugs are gone now, and it's a very, very interesting title.
Before you have higher security clearance, you should be able to find an access card in this area. And while you're here, do search the computers for any information you can find. Well, you're not getting through here. Better try another direction.
And also on February 20th, 2018, we've had Run Dorothy Run. I'm not gonna spend much time on this game because it's really shitty. It's still selling for $19.99, which is way too expensive. It's supposed to be a rhythmic game when you like sliding your hands around some diamonds or whatever, but there's nothing rhythmic about it at all. It's just random grabbing. The soundtrack is not that good, the story is lame, and also the humor in this game is just terrible. So that's the Run Dorothy Run. Next one game was Knockout League, and this is a very, very good boxing game. Of course, if you play Creed Rise to Glory, this is the completely different experience. It's more inspired by maybe Punch-Out from good old NES days. So basically you've got your opponents, you've got your blocking and everything, but you kind of read their animations and see what they're gonna do, and then you duck and punch. Very physical game, and also getting quite difficult later on. I think there's like 8 opponents altogether, or 12, I can't remember now. But I started it up again. Of course I forgot how to play, but quickly it's all come back to me. It's got quite good high quality production values, all the characters are nicely animated, you can see when you punch them they're making funny faces, you see when they're getting tired, when they get knocked out. All in all, really good quality release for PlayStation VR. And another game that came out on February 23rd, 2018, I'm not wasting time at all for this game, because when I fire it up, the Conrad, the Kitten, got such an obnoxious way of adjusting your camera. So basically you pressing options button not works. I have to sit on floor, that's where the game wants you to sit, but sadly the gamey cushion, what the game imagined, it's inside my sofa, so I cannot sit on the floor. And also, if I could, I still can't grab menus to elevate the floor or anything, because the game floor is too hard and my hand stops on my real life floor, I mean the game floor is too low. So it just didn't work at all. I tried 5 times and I was thinking, you know what, they should have option to adjust the game straight away, so you can do it as you want to, not as the game thinks what is the best, because sometimes what the game thinks it's absolutely stupid. But anyway, that Conrad the Kitten, I've had a look last time I played it in my old house, it worked fine and it's not that bad. Anyway, next game, and coming back to the last year now, to the February 19th, 2019, when the Chroma Gun came out. And listen, this game was such a long awaited game that when it's finally released, many people actually kind of forgot about it. It's a puzzle game, but the one that utilizes aim controller, which is very fun feature. In Chromagoon, it's all based about color play, and that's how puzzles are constructed. You've got them little drones flying around. You have to match them to the color of wall, and then they can elevate themselves above like a pressure point, and you can progress through the level. Sadly, the PSVR port definitely suffered when it comes to graphics and that, and I don't mind that at all. This footage, by the way, got click turning, the game got smooth turning, but this is the smooth turning that only smooth turning that don't work for me. It's kind of slow, and also it's like very jaggy, and it makes me feel weird. But what I mostly don't like is very small movement system. That was annoying just too much, but not too bad game. Definitely there will be many fans of it. Very original, might not look very good graphically, but gameplay wise it's okay. Okay, and next game which we had last year is Dick Wild 2. The first game was kind of successful, I think, because it was one of the first games to support aim controller. Just when the Farpoint came out, Dick Wild came out, it didn't look much at all. You've been just stuck on this like a pond or swamp and just shooting animals, very difficult game. Then fast forward a few years and they released another one. Now this one kind of got similar gameplay, but this time you're standing on a raft and this raft just moves. Also you can choose which way to go. Graphics definitely had very big updates, still as fun as the first one was. I think this one wasn't as well received. I think kind of got forgotten very fast. But it's released when we all had enough of our wave shooters or just stationary shooters. They tried to do something else. They definitely done it, because I'm still having fun with this game. I'm enjoying it, but it's not like the must-have PlayStation VR game. But nevertheless, it's a game that supports aim controller, and of course, if I can recommend it. If it goes on sale, then yeah, pick it up.
What's kicking, little chicken?
But anyway, on to the wrap-up, where we're gonna go through all the biggest news stories from the last week. And we starting from the fantastic No Man's Sky update, which is living ships. You can go get your living ship, and they are alive. When you see cockpit, it looks amazing. So it's kind of like weird technology. There's some missions, so you can find out how all this weirdness happened. Also, they improved like terrain, apparent not rendering, but something, I don't know, they do something with two clouds, water, shaders. Apparently it's maybe makes games smoother, I don't know, because from what I'm hearing, graphics are not improved yet. But nevertheless, No Man's Sky is such a big game, probably the biggest game you can currently play on PlayStation VR. And when I'm watching people live streams, I see how much fun they have. Shame I don't have as much time to play it, but nevertheless, for all the fans of this game, another update. And also they said they're gonna try to do monthly updates now. Instead of making one big update every now and then, every month you're gonna get something new, so that's nice of them. And it wouldn't be a week or a show without Gorn, so let's speak about Gorn. What's happening is the game finally went to Sony's certification. Now, as we know, roughly it takes about 2 weeks. That's what kind of community work out. How much true is I don't know. But basically they send it to Sony. Now it's in Sony's hands, and Sony gonna say yes, you're good to go, or they might say no, you're not good to go at all. You have to improve this and this. So then it's coming back to the developers. Then the developers have to work on it again, then send to the certification again, and maybe then it's gonna get approved. If it's gonna pass first time, they still got some challenges in front of them. As we know, PlayStation works by region, so they have to submit the game to each region, Europe, US, Asia, whatever. So that takes time as well. Then the translations for store pages, that needs to be done. In US, of course, it's probably gonna be easy, but for Europe, there is so many different languages. So there is still quite a journey in front of them, so I wouldn't expect it to see it in February. Maybe March, I don't know, possibly April. My best guess is maybe just April. But anyway, on to the next story. We've had some news about ATEC Cybernetic, and basically the developer said, listen people, the game is nearly ready, we're just working on the PlayStation Store page now, and then we'll be publishing. Which I'm assuming means they passed all the certification and everything. I said many times ATEC Cybernetic is fun. When it's released on PC, it's released as early access, so ever since you saw some PC footage, it's had tons of updates. Now it's about 5 hours long campaign. It really reminds me of Doom. I'm assuming when you go outside into this red planet, then it looks like Doom, and even enemies look similar, and there's loads of them, and even action is similar. And what makes it better, you've got guns and melee as well, and it works super fun. Okay, and also the same developers told us what's happening with Zero Caliber. They're working on it. It's still slated for Q2, but they said they tried aim controller and it wasn't working with the game, so they opted against it. My best guess is, like I said in my news video, it's a very hands-on game, so I think it took a lot from the gameplay, just holding the aim controller, not being able to put any attachments of weapon, climb and stuff, throw grenades. It's a very physical shooter game, but I'm hoping they're gonna get move controllers right. Of course, we know when you're running around with double hand weapons with moves and tilting move, sometimes it just shooting might feel weird, but maybe they will work something out. I don't know. But that's the news about Zero Caliber, but that's not everything. Separation sadly got delayed until the 3rd of March, so they wanted it this week, but the developers took to Twitter and he basically said, listen, I need to make some changes to the US store, and because I want the game to be out on both stores at the same time, I have to postpone release just by 1 week. So you're still gonna get it. To me, it looks like a very nice chilled out walking simulator. There will be some puzzles as well, but definitely like a nice ambient world, very nice views. So this is one of them games I'm looking forward to. And also in the next story, and Sony was announced that they won't be attending this year Games Developers Conference. So basically they pulling out from everything. And of course this is due to the coronavirus as well. They trying to keep their stuff safe, so you cannot blame them for that. They said they're not going to PAX this year as well, and that's as well due to the coronavirus. GDC, Game Developers Conference, is when the PlayStation VR got originally revealed. It was very nice reveal, and they showed you games like God of War played in VR. They've had Thief demo, they've had Final Fantasy VII shooter game demo. I think from this reveal everyone expected AAA games because of titles they've been showing you. Of course now we know that's not the case, but nevertheless GDC this year won't happen for Sony. Now, next part of the show is my top 10 PlayStation VR games. But also last week I asked you to give me yours top 10 games. So when you go to comment section, just put hashtag power rankings and give me your top 10 list, and next week we're gonna have top 10 of the community. So this is mine, and next week it's all for you. Of course, if you don't agree with this list, feel free. I like to see what other people enjoy. As many people is there, we all like different things. But anyway, let's do it. At number 10, I'm putting Persistence, a very nice PlayStation VR exclusive. Not only very high quality graphics, but also very tense gameplay. Now, people, when they play Persistence, they kind of are ones what are alright with it and enjoying the action, and other ones are the people that absolutely shitting themselves. I'm in this other group. To me, it's the most scary PSVR game, even scarier than Resident Evil 7. I don't know why. I think it's because it's so easy to die. But also, speaking about easiness of dying, they added very many features that makes the game easier, just, you know, for accessibility. So now you can slow down the enemies if you wish, so you can make yourself more powerful, and just a lot of things for people to have better time with it if they struggling. But definitely very good game. They working on flat version of Persistence now as well, so that will be nice to see. It will be running of course at 4K 60 FPS because it's very nicely optimized for PSVR, which gonna translate to the flat version, but nothing's gonna beat VR. Playing games is in VR, it's the best way to play games. But anyway, at number 9, I'm putting Beat Saber. This is for many people their number 1 game. I'm not that much into the rhythmic games at all, but somehow Beat Saber grabs me, and every time I play it, I cannot stop it. Very addictive game, and one of those games what did a lot for virtual reality. If you say VR to somebody, they probably first thing that's gonna come to their mind will be the Beat Saber, because that's how good this game is. Of course, the developer is still supporting it. We still got it on PSVR. As we know, Facebook/Oculus bought Beat Studios, so next Beat Saber sadly won't be on PlayStation VR, so enjoy it as much as you can. but it looks like the developers will be supporting it for a very long time still. At number 8 we've got Moss. Now I love this game. I actually very much love platformer games, so if I get to play them in VR I love them even more. Moss is a super high quality game with the PlayStation 4 Pro patch, looks super sharp, but also looks very great on the original PS4. Very nicely told story, like you're going through like a storybook. Lately they added update which gave you 3 new levels, so the game is about 3 hours long now. It's definitely not the longest, but definitely one of those that is very well worth experiencing. I loved every minute of this game and I'm still finding myself coming back to it, even though I pretty much collected everything I could and I did anything it's possible in this game. I still just like to replay it because that's how good it is. And speaking about good games, at number 7 of my best games is Wipeout on Mega Collection. Now when this game came out, when the patch dropped, many people, including me, we all lost our shit. This is another AAA game that got ported to PlayStation VR and it shows. The graphics are absolutely fantastic. Probably the best ones you can see on PlayStation VR. When you first sit in your spaceship, look around and all the crowds are animated, everything flies above you like a futuristic cars. The tracks are crazy, you've got loops, the game is super fast, fantastic. And what they did, they basically put all the game into the VR, they didn't cut any corners. They managed to get multiplayer to VR as well, and also what they did, they gave us more, because of course flat version don't have the cockpit view, while VR version got 3 different cockpits. Definitely highly recommended game. At number 6 I'm putting Superhot VR. If you ever wanted to feel like Neo from Matrix but in virtual reality, then Superhot is for you. While you're playing the game, you feel like total badass. If somebody looking at you from outside, they think, that's a weird situation he's in. But very good game. Time moves when you move and you get this fantastic feeling of shooting, killing enemies. Now we know the developers working on more games. They recently gonna release Mind Control Delete, but that's gonna be for flat on PS4. They're working on Superhot JP, which is Japanese version of Superhot, like happening in Japanese themed world, but that's for flat as well. So I'm hoping after they do all those flat things, then they're gonna start working on another Superhot VR game, because we definitely need more. When the Superhot first released on PSVR, it wasn't even that impressive graphically. It was quite blurry game, it had like a strange lines, like an artifacts. Of course it's all got fixed by now, it's a fantastic game, but even when it was first out and wasn't looking as good, it still was amazing. Okay, at number 5 we've got Astrobots. I just say I love platformer in VR, and this is the best one, the king of them all, Astrobot Rescue Mission. One of the, I think it's still the highest rated PlayStation VR exclusive game. Maybe Dreams overtook it now. By the way, Dreams VR support coming soon. But anyway, Astrobot is fantastic. If you had VR from the day one, you probably remember in the Playroom VR you've had this little game of this robot saving its little robot friends. And the developers looked at it and saw that this is the most popular thing, so they was like, okay, we need to like make game out of it. So they started working on Astrobot. Now the director of this game, he actually became the head of the Sony Japan, so now he's in charge and looks like dude loves VR, so I'm hoping to see more from him. I'm sure we're gonna get another Astrobot announcement eventually, and I cannot wait for this day, but meanwhile you can still play this one because it's awesome. At number 4 I'm putting Borderlands 2 VR. Very popular game, but also very controversial. For people who played Borderlands in past, especially in co-op, they wasn't happy about announcement because single player only. I played Borderlands in past and I never played in co-op anyway, so I didn't mind it. And also when the game first released, it wasn't supporting aim controller, but they added this feature and its play is great. And also after the release they added all the DLC from the game, making it twice bigger. So basically money well spent, good value for money. If you're looking for AAA game in VR with huge worlds, with like hundreds and hundreds of hours of gameplay, then Borderlands 2 VR definitely is for you. Fun fact, I bought myself Borderlands 3 when it's released because I'm a big fan of the series, and I didn't even completed it. I cannot play it, I just cannot play it flat anymore. It's not the same. VR is the way to go, so hopefully Borderlands 3 will get VR mode. But as of now, I still got some stuff to do in Borderlands 2 VR. Even though I completed the game, there's so many side missions and there's so much fun stuff to do that you can just play over and over again. Especially that you've got different characters to choose from with different abilities. I absolutely love this game, and I'm sure whoever picks it up gonna love it as well. Okay, anyway, at number 3, Blood and Truth. Now this is fantastic game, very good story, proper like AAA production values. People been saying that we need time crisis in VR or something like that, and this seems like an evolution of that, because you can slow down time as well, that's nice, but also you've got this on-rail system, you've got like a notes what you can choose yourself. I don't think I have to explain it because probably everyone knows, but the shooting feels so good in this game. Of course, you collect different weapons. It's had tons of updates, even aim controller updates, sadly just for challenges, but nevertheless good idea. And even they added rhythmic update when they made a rhythmic game out of it, when you're shooting on targets to the rhythm, and it works very good as well. So very big release for PlayStation London Studios. They said themselves they want to be like Naughty Dog of VR, so I wonder what they're gonna do next. But also, speaking of Blood and Truth, it's similar story like with Astro. So they released their VR Worlds game, and there was different experiences. You've had this descent when you go in underwater, you've had VR Luge on this, skateboard going down the hill. What was Scavengers Odyssey, just, collection of experiences. And of course there was London Haste, which proved by far the most popular, and they looked at it and they said, okay, we're making a full game out of it. They came out with Blood and Truth, about 6 hours long game, and very fantastic one. At number 2 is Gollum, a best VR game I played in a while, and for some people might be the most disappointing game. This is one of those games where you either love it or hate it, there's no in between. I'm classified to those people who love it, and many people really enjoying this game. Very nice open world, but I see where people had issues with it when it's released, because the game basically turned your head into the 3D ruler, so every time you look around your golem starts turning. Worked good for me, but many people just wanted to walk and look around, so the developers added navigation controller update. Of course, if you don't have nav controller, just use your DualShock and move in other hand and it's gonna work the same. What's good about this game is the combat, very sleek combat. Now, I know you saw some videos, people been moaning the moves don't register and still like that. Don't listen to it. There is different blocking techniques in this game. You either have to hold your sword vertically, sometimes you need to tilt it to side, sometimes above you. Everything works fine as the developers wanted it to work. Very polished combat. So if something goes wrong, it's probably you might just like train a bit more, I don't know. But whoever been blaming this game for combat not being clunky or something, don't listen to it. Very good combat, very good game, such a high quality game as well, with nice graphics all around you. I don't know how they managed to pull off such a big open world and basically walking through it without loading screens. So I really enjoyed it. There is a reason I gave it 10 out of 10, but also there is a reason why this game is not on the first place, because on the first place is the game I never reviewed because it came out before this channel happened. And of course I'm talking about Resident Evil 7, a proper AAA game, a this generation game. The game with very good story, very good acting, absolutely fantastic. I cannot say nothing bad about it. If you are a fan of horror games in VR, of course you're gonna get scared more. Also they released some DLC, Not a Hero was for free, and it's turning a bit on like a shooter, more action orientated. But also End of Zoe, if you like games, I don't know, Double Dragon perhaps? This game, this End of Zoe DLC, you basically box in a lot. Sadly, no move controllers, so you like just using your triggers. But it's proper brawler in VR and it works great. And I know many people want games like that, so if you got Resident Evil 7 and then tried End of Zoe, definitely try it. but also the whole game is super good. Got very big and long story, of course, because it's a AAA game, but also don't forget on the story, if you never tried it, type beginning hour and you're gonna get beginning hour demo of Resident Evil, not the kitchen, the beginning hour one. Fun fact, when this demo came out, it actually was one of the biggest PSVR games for quite a while, because it's not a very short demo. Also, it's very high quality demo and many people liked it the most, and it was totally free. But anyway, that's my number one. Now, I know there's no No Man's Sky, I know there's no Firewall, Derasign, I like this game as well, but it was so hard to put this top 10, so listen, those games was like they nearly made it. But anyway, like I said, hashtag PSVR rankings, let me know in the comment section what is your top 10 games. I'm gonna count everything and then we're gonna check out next week. And of course, big shout out to my patrons, the village MPs. This is the people who contributed to the highest tier of my Patreon. I'm really appreciating it, and of course, if you want to become patron, then go to the patreon.com/PolishPolVR and you can support the channel. And also, if you like what you're seeing, then please press a like, because it does help the channel a lot. And if you're new to the channel and are not subscribed, then subscribe. It's always better when it's more of us. And that's it, bye.